Today we're gonna be talking about it. Okay, is that all right with everybody? Get your journals out, your cuadernos, your plumas, your lapis, pens, pencils. I'm sorry, my Spanish is kicking in, Mister Payon. Money, 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 money. Matter of fact, do you think about it all the time? What? Look at my napkins. Look at my paper towel. Hey, look. What do you think about all day long? What do you think about what's around? Look, these are napkins. These are napkins. Oh yeah, I got toilet paper. I mean, I got the whole nine yards. What are you surrounding yourself with? What's your thoughts like every day? Come on, this is leadership. This ain't for everybody. Come on, come on, come on. Now, I'm gonna get into it real quick because I got a lot to cover tonight. I got a lot to cover. A lot to cover. First of all, I want you to write this down. This is part one. Part one. Part one. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Part one of what $1 Million Year. What I want to talk about tonight, here's the first thing I want you to write down. Here's the first thing I want you to write down is you are the common denominator. You. And everything we'll talk about in this two-part series, you are the common denominator. You are the common denominator. Not Al Thomas, not your sideline, not your upline, not your, no. You. You are the common denominator. And all I'm going to talk about in this two-part series. So write that down. I am the common denominator. That's right. You. Not your wife, not your husband, not the dogs, not the cats, you. And once you decide to take full responsibility, you're going to have a lot of growth in your business. Now, I first want to start off by saying we have 14 days before the next international, and there's no excuse why you should not be there. Watch this. No excuse. I don't really care. There's no excuse. If you say the things you want to have, but you're not willing to commit to it, remember, you are the what? The common denominator. So if your boss told you to be there, yeah, you'd be there in a heartbeat because you value that job over you value your business. So how do you plan on being the leader you want to be and you're not leading by example? Today, we have 14 days. So I'm not going to pounce on this. You know what you should do if you get off the call, just get it done. This is leadership. Let's look, we're grown people. We're adults here. Let's act that way, okay? Now, today I'm going to go into some training that is pretty phenomenal. I want to, first of all, explain to you something. As Simon Abu have done this, you know, the cards, and no, look, life is like a deck of cards. Look, some of you're out there and you're playing with it, but you got, look, all we're looking for is 4 aces, okay? Cut the cards. What's the first? Queen. All we're doing is looking for the aces, folks. That's all we're doing is looking for the aces. And so many times in life, look at this. I'm going to talk about aces tonight. 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 Sean, I'm going to talk about, you got to be careful. There's also some jokers out there too. See, some of us get these jokers and you swear, Miss Jones, they're going to be aces. Man, they're going to show up. They're going to sign up. Man, I tell you what, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, tomorrow night, when they get paid, they'll be there. And tomorrow night, you can't find them jokers because they're jokers. You can't find them. They're jokers. But you got to keep going through the deck. You got to keep throwing through the deck. You got to keep going through the deck because why? There's aces in the deck. Some of you hold on to a 9 and pray it's going to be a jack or a king or 8. No, it's a 9. It is what it is. But you got to keep going through. Remember, there's only 4 aces in a deck of cards of 52. And you got to be careful. There's a couple jokers in there as well. Now, what am I saying this to say this? Is it going to be easy? No, Miss Walker, you know it's not easy. You're out there because we talk all the time. Miss Thomas, it ain't easy. I go, if it was easy, dear, everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would do it. But it's not made for every easy person. I think of Mr. Robert on here. I had a call with him the other night with his people on there. That guy's got it. He's got it all dialed in, Mr. Robert. How you doing out there, sir, in Southern California? He's got it all dialed in because he understands. Write this down. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Your eyesight's a number. Ring size number. Your house got a number. Your car's got 38 numbers on it. Everything, your eyesight, everything's in life is a number. Everything. Your question is how many you got to go through to find those 4 aces. Now, let me break it down this way. I'm going to show you an ace. We're going to talk about this tonight. We're going to go through some things. It's going to be a 2-part series. So buckle up. Here we go. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the first slide. First slide. I want to show you the ace I just got in Ohio. Now, this is an ace. This is an ace. Now, let's break this down. Mr. Hunt's on here. He's got in 3 hours, all energy services, 27 services added up to 51 points he got in. Now, what am I trying to explain? He made $1,600. Now, let me tell you what happened. Now, he's what I call write this down, my poster child, What I mean by nothing negative, what have you got? In other words, who do you have that you can brag on now? Who do you have that you have made successful? Who do you have that you can brag on? He's my poster child. He's my poster for customers. My poster what? My poster child. I tell everybody about it. Now, let me tell you what happened because he got his customer points on. Mr. B. Clemens is in transit right now, but he has a gentleman in Chicago who's also a business owner. So these are business owners. The gentleman in Chicago got into business. And he's up to, I think he's up to about 20 points right now, or 20 or 30, maybe 30 points. So what happened, we got on the phone with him. I said, look, there's a guy out in Ohio that just put in his first check's gonna be $1,600. 3 hours he's been in business. He's already in line to pick up $1,600. Watch this, on a $324 investment. Now, you guys talking to people in investments, wise, or you talk to them about, customers. I talk to owners about making money, Now, the guy in Chicago got so excited. He said, so what's my goal? We told him his goal is to beat Blake Hunt. He's got to put on 200 points. He said, my God, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to do that. So now he is in the trenches just today and tomorrow, adding on to his customer count, because we teach them to play off each other. We help them. Hey, man, you thought you were doing something. Here's Mr. Hunt. He's got $1,600 in 3 hours. What do you think that does to people when you show people the bar? Let's go back, talk about the bar. Before the 4-minute mile was broken, Roger Bannister was the first one that broke the 4-minute mile. You guys realize that. Now, once he broke the mile, guess what? It was a challenge. Everybody else to go beat it. And now people are breaking the 4-minute mile left and right, right and left. I mean, there's no big deal no more. Because why? He broke the 4-minute mile. So you got to set the bar high. What's the saying go? If you set it high, you attract the winners. If you set it too low, you attract the losers. So guess what? Blake Hunt is my poster child. So now we got the guy in Chicago going. Mr. Waller, who I just hung up talking to not more than 5 minutes before the call came in. We did a Zoom call, a 2-on-1, him and myself, and a gentleman who owns a commercial building in the Bay Area. We got on the phone with him the other day. It was Friday, yesterday, and we got him excited. No, it was Thursday. He was so excited. He said, I'm gonna sign up Saturday at 4 o'clock. He's on the call with them right now, signing him in, using his business ID because he's gonna put in his business, and we're gonna go to town on him. Now he's talking about what's the goal. I say the goal is, hey, look, we show him a picture of Blake Hunt. Hey, here's a guy that 3 hours. I mean, are you up for the challenge? He goes, you kidding me? I said, yeah, man, you up for the challenge? So why are you guys so scared to put people up for the challenge? I said, here's the goal. Here's the 4-minute mile right here. 3 hours. It's a challenge. But are you challenging people? Or are you begging people? So the challenge is, here's another gentleman who is on fire now. He's just getting the system as we speak. As we speak, he just put him in, okay? So that's a poster child. Now, let me give you another poster child I've got. Mr. Payon. And Mr. Payon, I think I saw him on here. He is my customer poster child. Now think about this. Why am I calling him my poster child? Because Mr. Payon, when I started doing this 3 a day, because some of y'all remember back in November, beginning of December, I challenged people, but only 42 of you showed up for the challenge. What was the challenge? To go out and get 3 names and numbers a day. That's not that difficult, folks. It really is not that. It's that you're late. Well, let me be nice. It's not that difficult. If your job told you to do it for a little paycheck, you break your neck doing it. And have it done by lunchtime, wouldn't you? And go home, wouldn't you? So here's the challenge. I asked Mr. Payon. Now, let me describe this. Mr. Payon lives in Japan, for those that don't know. He does not speak Japanese. I'll say it again. He does not speak Japanese. He speaks English and Spanish. And I said, Mr. Payon, the goal is 3 a day. He went out the first day, got 1 or 2 numbers. I think he got 1, 2. He went back home, petrified. I said, gotta go out again. And he kept going and kept going and kept going. Watch this. Was it uncomfortable? Yeah. Being broke is more uncomfortable, isn't it? Yeah. He kept going. He kept going. A week later, he was up to 3 a day every day. If he missed a day, I said, you owe me, how many you got today? 2? You owe me 1 tomorrow. So instead of 3, you owe me 4. And within a week's time, he was doing a 3 every day. Matter of fact, let me tell you what he, let me set this up right for you. That's like every one of you on this call being deported to Germany and you don't speak German. And for you to go out and get 3 names and numbers for German speaking people and you don't speak the language, how well would you do? Well, don't you realize that was the same reaction that he had? But he overcame that. Because remember now, what I say first of all, you are the common what? What? Yeah, that's right. That's right. The term, that's right. You're it. So guess what? If I did that to you, you'd panic out. But what he kept doing, he kept going and going. Now I want to read you something. He did so well. His wife got promoted. He got promoted. His team is exploding right now in Japan. I want to read this to you. I just took it off here. I want to read this to you. He sent this to me the other day. Listen up. Let me tell you what the determined denominator is you. Watch this. He said, Mr. Thomas, my wife jumped off her seat and cried today when she got an email from AC in Japan that she got invited to a special leadership in Tokyo at the beginning of March. Listen up. Only top 25 TCs, because they still have TCs there in Japan can go. The other 25 leaders are the top RDs, RVPs, and SVPs in Japan. ACN will cover all her expenses. Read that again. ACN will cover all her expenses. This is all thanks to your amazing leadership and her hard work. God bless you, Sensei. See, this is what I do ACN for. He's not in part of my organization. I don't give a rat's back in. This is my payback. This is what gets me excited. This is what puts fuel in my tank. This is what blesses Al Thomas, to know that you have learned something here and went and did it. And what happened? I'm always going to give you what works. Don't you get it? I've been the top of 2 network marketers. You saw I had both Super Bowl rings on the other day from 2 separate companies. Why? I want you to win, but you got to be able to plug in and do the stuff that your coach give you. I'm a coach. Coach don't care if you like us. We don't care. No. We care that you respect. That's what. So this came from him, and I just want to say thank you. He's on the phone call today. Matter of fact, can we let him say just 1 minute, Mr. Keep it real condensed. I got a lot to cover, Mr. Pham. Real simple. Condense it down to. He didn't even know I was going to do this. Take 1 minute. 1 minute. That's all. Go over a minute. I'm going to cut you off. I think I saw him. There he is.
Hello, sir. Good evening, everybody. Konnichiwa. Well, yeah, I just want to thank Mr. Thomas.
Sorry.
Yeah, just want to thank Mr. Thomas for his great leadership, Mr. Clemens, all the team and the leaders. Yeah, without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I'm more than halfway to RD, and we just stay busy every day, getting customers, IBOs, and it gets in you. I listen to each call 2 or 3 times, that we have on the team, and that's all I need. So thank you very much, sir. Arigato.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everybody.
Horigato. Now notice what he said. He listens to the calls. How many times? 2 or 3. How many times you go back and listen to these calls? You realize we have a whole channel of last 4.5 years of this stuff on here, right? I'm thoroughly convinced. Look, you cannot convince me anywise. I'm thoroughly convinced. Listen to me. I'm thoroughly convinced that a drunk monkey could pick up, go to our website and listen to the stuff we put on there and become an SVP. I'm thoroughly convinced. Everything you need to become successful, we roll it out for you. And I'm still in the trenches teaching as I go. I'm showing you what I'm doing, not just hypothetically, not 20 years ago stuff. I'm doing it right now. Blink, hop, boom. All right, let me move on. Thank you so much, Mr. Payon. So yeah, he's my poster child, because anytime somebody could go out in a foreign country and just get names and numbers every day and move up in the ranks and don't even speak the language, what does that make you feel like? Let me ask you a question. Don't even answer this. How does that make you feel? I mean, think about it. If he can do it, see, shouldn't that be motivation? Because you are determined, you are the common what? Determined, you're the common denominator. What's wrong with you? Why can't you do it? And you speak English. So what I'm asking, 3 names and numbers today, it's not out the realm. It's within the realm. I have people go get 20. I ain't gonna say nobody gets 20, but 3 is easy. 3 a day will keep a job away. Write that down. 3 a day will keep a job away. Now, I want to put this lady on here. She don't know I'm gonna call her out, but I want Miss Diane Collins to take a minute and tell everybody how many personal customers she have in Australia, Mike. And she got all these customers during the lockdown. So wait a minute, you said during the lockdown, sir? Yeah, I said during the lockdown. So Miss Collins, will you take a minute and tell everybody how many personal customers you have on now at this point?
400.
The floor is yours.
I've got 485, and 427 of them are just energy alone.
Repeat that number again. 480.
485 personal customers, and 427 of that is put as energy customers alone. And I've got 5 customers to get back to on Tuesday. So that'll be signing up. So that's all to the training and support to Mr. Thomas and this amazing group that we're with. So if it wouldn't have been with him, I just kept doing what he kept saying. You just got to do what he says. He's the most brilliant coach. It works. The system works. I did it in lockdown. He said we couldn't even go out. Only one person allowed out during lockdown in Australia. So, and I just kept building, just making those phone calls. Thanks, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, dear. Let me trick everybody. Let me trick everybody. Show you how she did it over the phone. I know some of you thinking, what was her magic trick? It's called a telephone. Who said you had to go out? Can we give Miss Collins a hand, everybody? Let's give her a hand. Now, am I inspiring you to let you know you could do it too? If you choose to draw the line in the sand and go forward. You could do this. You could do this. Who's that, Miss Collins? Who's that beautiful lady?
My sister. Anyway.
Oh, hey, sister.
This is my sister from London. Julie. This is my I'm the eldest and Julie's the second. So
hello there, Julie.
She's coming up today. She's just come here with a fiance for 10 days, but they leave today. So.
Hello.
Oh, wow. What time is it in Australia, by the way, ladies?
1:30 in the afternoon.
On Sunday, right?
On Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah, there you go. Folks, what an international call. Thank you. God bless you. Let's give Ms. Collins one more hand. Now, I want to show you guys something else. The reason why this is a 2-part series and you are the common denominator, because we're talking about wealth, and it all starts with you. You getting out there every day. It's going to be easy. You're going to get no's. You're going to get laughed at. I've done all the things I'm telling you have happened to me. Now, I've got another gentleman. He don't know I'm going to do this, but I want to put up a picture. Let's go to the next picture, sir. This gentleman was on the call. We did a private call the other day. He had to rush out to go to another meeting, and I want him to explain this picture here. Mr. James Clark, will you take your phone off? And was that you and Mr. Davenport doing this meeting? Share everybody about this meeting. While he's waiting, let me tell you guys something that was phenomenal about this. Okay, I got to put this in there. Take Mr. James Clark off mute, and also Mr. Davenport. I got to share something with you. He called me, says, Mr. Thomas, the guy that did the meeting was not even NACN. Ms. Carter, let me say that one more time. The guy that did the meeting that night, did you guys hear what I said, Mr. Ford? Was not NACN. Ms. Jones, David Ian Lowe, Sam Foster, he was Mr. Adrian O'Neill. He was not in ACN. But when he got done, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let him tell how many people signed up that night. Go ahead, Mr. James Clark. I'm gonna let you tell the rest.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on the call, Mr. Thomas. And yes, surprise, right? So Here is the story behind that room right there. Okay. First and foremost, it's the system. It's not me. First and foremost. So just back it down real quick. I have a gentleman that's on my team. He got involved. We went to the regional event that was going on in Costa Mesa. While we were at that Costa Mesa event, there was another gentleman who's actually on this call, Mr. Robert, showed up to that event and was not in ACN, but he was looking to get involved. So he saw my rep, Mr. Mobley, talked to him, signed up into the business right there. So he got involved. From that, Mr. Robert introduced me to Astrid, which is the young lady in that picture. Okay. And so he introduced me to her. We start talking the Who Do You Know game. So what she do? She introduced me to the other guy that you see walking in the forefront right there, David. David, on the other hand, now that's the guy next to the guy that's next to the guy, right? That's the guy. He's the gentleman that actually filled that room. That was in Sherman Oaks. And we literally just in that with the group of people that he brought along with him, all Latinos, some speak Spanish, some speak only Spanish. We were literally half that room. It was amazing. And that's just simply following the system of what Mr. Thomas was talking about, just sharing the plan, showing the plan. That's it. And next thing you know, here we are today. I'm no one special, that's for darn sure, right? And I know you heard other people say that, but for a while, it's a situation where you hear it, but you don't take it on board. But then when it happens to you, you have to own it. I own it now. It happened to me. I know it exists. I know what it can do. And I'm going to share that with you so that you understand that it can also happen for you by just doing what he's asking us to do. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Mr. Clark, how many people in that room was part of your organization how many Spanish people were in there? How many was, what would you say?
There was about 18 people who showed up to that event. From that, we have like 6 enrolled now, but more to come, a whole lot more to come. So I'm fired up and ready to just help them take this business to where they want to take it. I mean, they have a vision of as I say, a vision of what they want to create. They have a plan, and that's the key in anything. You know, you have a vision and have a plan and execute, and that's what they're doing. And I'm just happy to be able to help them because, believe it or not, I'm learning more too through them. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow. He said something very special, folks. It's a learning process. Now watch this. How many of you have been a leader enough to do what he just did? Let me tell you what Mr. Clark did. Mr. Robert, I'm gonna let him say something in just a second because he can go at it like a machine gun. I love this guy. But he knew it's all Spanish. He said, look, he thought as a leader, let me let this guy, since he wants to do it anyway, let him do it because he can relate better than I can. That's smart. That's a checkmate move as a leader. And what happened was he let him go up and did the presentation, and then he signed himself up. Now, watch this. I remember many times I'm in a room with young people and I look around. If I got a younger speaker there, I'll let them go do it because they can relate better. In other words, he was smart as an entrepreneur and a leader to let the room dictate who was going to bring the information. Does that make sense? So, Mr. Robert, let's take a minute. You got just 1 minute. I'm gonna cut you down to 30 seconds. I love this guy so much because him and I get on the phone and chat for 30 minutes and it was like 2 minutes. Mr. Robert, let's see if we can take him off. There he is, Galaxy A23. Next time, get your name up there, sir, if you can. Can we unmute him? There we go.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? When it comes to regards to that night, I wasn't even there. I already had plans to meet a different business owner and talk about this business. And my mentor, James Clark, held it down, man. The team is phenomenal. The way people want people to make money in this and lift people up and become the best version of yourself, it's amazing. I'm telling you. Get on board, grab you a window seat, and buckle your seatbelt. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. It's the least he ever said. Bless you, man. And look, his whole Hispanic group is just blowing up. I mean, they're just blowing up. They had another meeting recently and they just overtook another room. I mean, they're just blowing up. Now, why am I showing you this? Because the same will happen to you if you listen to what I've been teaching you. This is nothing new. Some of you say, well, how did you put over 8,000 people downline in 1 month? I'm showing you how I'm doing it. I've done it. And I'm showing you the basics. This is not rocket science. It's like Mr. James Clark said, follow the system. So many people want to invent a new system, invent this. That's why a lot of people don't come on my leadership, because they're not coachable. But as long as you're coachable, you'll be fine. So just understand that's how this works. So now we have Mr. Clark, we have Mr. Blake Hunt. We've talked about Mr. Waller's on the phone signing somebody up right now. Can we give Mr. Clark a hand and Mr. Robert a hand real quick? And their whole organization doing a fantastic job. Now, remember, you are the common what? Denominator in all this. Nobody, it's nothing secret. Just follow the system. Now, I want to show you if you want to become how to become a GOAT. Now, this is part of the lesson I want you guys to really understand. To be greater, it just takes that much more. The problem with good is getting in the way of being better. So I'm going to show you something I think will hopefully will bless you, because you got to go all out. You can't be like everybody else. When I pulled up to my mansion and I bought it, I wanted something different. So to be different, write this down. To be different, to be different, you got to do more. 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 Okay, I want to show you guys a short video. We're going to play this video, and we're going to talk about how to outwork other people. That's all Al Thomas. Like I said, I'll outwork people. Here we go.
I was not a Kobe Bryant fan until he passed away, and I started learning his stories, and I fell in love with who he was. And he told the story, typical basketball player gets up around 9 or 10 o'clock, goes in and works out at 11 o'clock, and then they eat. They rest, relax, they get another workout at 6 o'clock. They get 2 solid workouts in the day. What if you got up at 3? He said, I work out from 4 to 6, go in and eat, rest, get back in. I'm there from 9 to 11. I eat, I rest, I'm back from 2 to 4. I eat and I rest, and then I'm there 6 to 8, and I go to bed. I got 5 workouts in. They got in 2. If I do that for 5 years, the distance I've created in amount of training between me and my competitor is so far that they could train every day and stay up all night and they'll never catch me.
You guys get that? How many of you guys will go 5 versus everybody else doing 2? To be an RVP, to be an SVP, all we're doing is doing more of it. That's all we're doing. We're doing 5, and the average person's only doing 2. And in other words, don't let your minimums be your maximum. And that's the difference, folks. And like I said, what's the first thing I said this call? You are the common what? Denominator. Denominator. I get up early. I'm out early. I'm doing what I got to do. The common what? Denominator. So all of us have the potential. The question is, how much are you really willing to go out, all out to get what you really want, to make a sacrifice? It's not that difficult, okay? It really isn't that difficult. So you have to make a decision and draw the line and saying, you know what, Mr. Thomas, I'm on board. I'm gonna go get my free names numbers every day, no matter what. I'm not gonna go home and put my big head on the pillow at night until I get my free a day. I made a commitment and I'm gonna stick with it because my family deserves better. I deserve better. I'm tired of that job. I want more for my family. And you know what? You will get there. You will get there. Now, I want to show another short video, and I want you to pay attention to what's called a commitment.
Satan got one job: to keep you from your destiny. The devil don't ever want you to be what God created you to be. So guess what? When you discover your gift and you think, I'm about to make a move and go be what God created me to be, then here go the devil. You got this job over here, you're gonna lose your 401k. Life is hard. See, for every time you have a plan, a dream, an aspiration, or a goal, do you know what happens every time you have one of those? This thing comes along called life. It happens to everybody. Life has disappointments, it got peaks and valleys. But you gotta quit letting the devil keep you from your destiny by tying it to this little job you got. Somebody gonna close the plant you thought was gonna stay open so you could retire. That's a valley. Somebody gonna fire you for an unjust cause. That's a valley. So you got to start. Fill out the application. Go get the patent. Send in the paperwork. Get your federal ID number. Do something, man. Start creating a website. Let your job sponsor your dreams. Take some of your check money. Quit playing one of them punk bills. Take that money and start your website. Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from your family members that ain't ever opened a business. Get away from your family members that ain't ever followed their dreams. Get away from your family members ain't never been nowhere but to the family reunion. Ain't never been to a beach. Get away from them. My whole career is dedicated to all my punk teachers that told me, Sit down, acting a fool. You ain't gonna ever make no money acting a fool. It's all I had. I just used what I had. You do not have to complicate this thing. You don't need an education to do this. You just need the principles of success. I'm telling you, man, I took these $25 jokes and I turned them into a lifestyle. You can take this God-given gift that he gave you and stop thinking of how to make $1 million. Just go make $10 and do everything 10 times as hard. Now, it's gonna be hard. Understand that. It's gonna be very hard. But start. If you make one step, he'll make two. And don't worry about where you're going with it. Just get started. He'll show you the way to go because he wants you to get to your destiny. But he got to make sure that you want to get to your destiny first. If you tell him you want to get to your destiny, that God you serve, he going to show you how to do it. You ain't got nothing else to do. Because let me tell you something about being not successful. Being not successful, that's really hard too. So you might as well apply yourself to something that has a benefit. Your gift will make room for you. That's in your Bible. Quit letting people tell you the route to success when clearly God created you to be different. Just go that route. All my friends got college degrees, all of them. So imagine if you spent 4 hours doing something that you were gifted at. Suppose you took your God-given gift and did it for 4 hours a day. Do you know what you would be? Identify your God-given gift and go on and get your life. Quit tripping because you don't have what a group of people told you you need to be successful. If you're not a degree person, you can go to school all you want. If that's not in you, how you gonna get a degree? It's really simple. I'm telling you, man, I figured it out. I ain't smart. I ain't got no education. I ain't got no degree of any kind whatsoever. Graduated with a high school diploma. Graduating class was 695 people. I graduated 690. Quit tripping because you don't have what he got. You ain't finna be what he is. God made you different. Just go be different. You get paid to be different. People pay you to be different. Weird people make money. Regular people don't make money. Regular people make regular money. If you did that, identified that and did that for 4 hours a day, 5 years in a row, I promise you, it's in his book, it's in the Bible, you will have a life beyond your dreams. That's in the Bible. That ain't no theory of mine. Just identify your gift and do it for 4 hours a day and watch what happens to you. What stops most people from becoming successful is you have something in you that tells you it's not for you. But it's for everybody who wants it. God will give you the desires of your heart. God, he love you. You got to call on God, and when it look like he ain't coming, you got to keep calling on him. When you ask him for something, you don't think he want to give it to you? But you have not because you ask not. Most people don't even ask God for the right stuff. Keep wasting God's time with all these little bitty requests. You're talking to God. You got to ask him for help. God wants a relationship with you. He don't want you to call him every 6 months. He want to hear from you, man. You gonna ask God for $500? Might as well ask him for 50 grand. I mean, since you asking, renew your faith. Keep praying. God is always coming. Your package has already been shipped. Thank y'all very much.
Wow. 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 I know you guys wasn't ready for this call tonight, but I thank you. 4 things I'm gonna highlight that he said. Write this down. It's gonna be hard. ASIN is going to be hard. Well, we already know that. So why are we complaining? Why are we complaining? We already know it's hard. There's a lot of things in life harder than this. Try waking up in Iran or Iraq tomorrow morning, all bombed out, not knowing where your family's at, and you're missing a limb. That's hard. You don't know you got it so easy. Number 2, being successful is really hard. No, he said being successful is not really hard. Why? It's all on you. It's not really hard. He said being successful isn't really hard. It really isn't, folks. It's harder to be broke than be, oh my God. Whew, let me back off that one. I've only had a job 9 months my whole life. I don't know what it is to have a job because I listened to my mentors. And I'm talking from facts. Number two, he said, God gave you a gift, your God-given gift. If it wasn't a gift, he would never gave you ACN. Don't you realize it's a gift? And we're treating it like it's a secondary through the cracks of my day. If I try it, no, it's a gift. And you're kicking a gift down the sidewalk. It's a gift. He said 4 hours a day. You could be anywhere you want to be in 5 years. But are you giving it 4 hours a day? My first year, I gave it an hour a day, faithfully. Then 2 or 3 hours. By my third year, I was financially broke away because I was faithful. I'll read that again. Your God-given gift, 4 hours a day. You'll be there in 5 years if you commit 4 hours a day. Watch this. You getting on my boys down at 8 hours. Watch this. How many jobs you had in your lifetime? You faithful in the first job, the second job, third job? You're bouncing from job to job, but what are you putting in your own business? Say, I love Mr. Clark, but not for long. He said 4 hours a day, you'll be anywhere you want to be in 5 years if you stuck 4 hours a day in there. Check yourself out, how many hours you putting in your business. And you wonder why you're not getting the results. And I like the last point I'm gonna bring up here. Number 4, he said weird people make a lot of money. I'm weird as heck, I know I'm weird. He said regular people make what? Regular money. Why in the blankety blank would you want to be regular? Weird people. Oh, you're in that phone thing. You're in that pyramid. Oh, yeah, you're weird. Yeah, I'm a weird person. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. Weird people make a lot of money. And he said regular people make regular money. Folks, this is powerful. Question. Every day you have a choice. Let's look at some of our choices. And the choice you make today either is on the path to get you to be successful or off the path of being successful. So I want to ask you a question. I want you to kind of rate this and look at it. Everything you do is either on the path to get you where you want to go in your business or off the path. Can we all agree to that? So think about this. If you're going down the road to get to your goal, watch your TV. Is that on the path to get you where you want to go, or is that off the path? Then why do you do it? Noticing, taking notes on Zoom, is that on the path or is that off the path? On the path. Commitment to get 3 leads a day before you go home and put your big head on the pillow at night and eat. Is that on the path or off the path? Hanging out with friends. Is that on the path or off the path? I do that at Thanksgiving. Getting a new IBO customer. Is that on the path or is that off the path? Spending hours on Facebook. Is that on the path or off the path? Spend a whole lot of time texting and reading all this garbage out here. I'm sorry, whatever that is. Is that off the path, on the path, off the path? There you go. Learning more about ACN. Is that on the path or off the path? You start to catch on? Going to the international that I should be at in 14 days, no matter what. That's definitely on the path. And if you're not there, you're about ready to get off the path. I'm gonna be honest with you. Strengthen yourself and learning more about the different services we have in our back office. On the path or off the path. Refusing to hang out with people that talk about network marketing as a pyramid deal. Is that on the path or that off the path? Doing something every day. Oh my God. Doing something every day to move my business forward. Is that on the path or off the path? See, in other words, folks, this is all about growth. It's all about growth. Are you allowing yourself to grow? Set aside your ego and your pride and mature and then you can see, and the best vision, see yourself in the best vision you can see for yourself. But it's going to take you to go out there and make a difference. Remember, write this down. This is the last time I'll give you tonight. Remember, obstacles are things that you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Let me say it again. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. I'll say it again. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Back in the day, when I was coming up in my first MLM company, I had that on my desk, and it was worded a little different. It said obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off of God. I remember having that on my desk. I went down and had it printed out, made it a little, instead of my name tag on my desk at my house, I had that on my desk, so I see it every day. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off of God. But remember, obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Write this down too. Part 2 of that. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. And remember, you are the common denominator in all of this. Who is? Not Al Thomas, not Miss Deborah, not Marvin Carter, not Rick Kane Hawaii, not Diane Collins Australia, not James Clark. No, Melissa Williams. No. You are the denominator in all this. And what I'm going to do real quickly is open the phone lines up, if we can, for 2 or 3 comments, and we're going to close it out. Because here's the goal. I got something else. What have you learned so far now? Anybody want to share what they learned so far? What they learned? I got one more thing I got to do before we close out. Anybody want to share? Okay. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. I want to show you. Oh, congrats, everybody. Okay. I'm going to go one more time with Harvard. Miss Harvard said, ACN is going to be hard. Yes. Being successful is not really hard. Number 3, your God-given gift, 4 hours a day for 5 years, you'll get there. And weird people make weird money, and regular people make regular money, for those that didn't get it. Okay. The last thing I'm going to show you tonight, I want to show you something. This is going to be your homework assignment, because part 2 is next week. Part 2, I want you guys, let your dreams. Okay. There you go. Part 2 next week, we're going to discuss what your homework assignment is. Everybody with me? You're going to have a homework assignment. That's why it's part 2. Now, I'm going to show you something. I want you guys to go to audio books. It's only $4 or $5, and I want you to listen to it several times and take a lot of. Just don't listen. Sit down and take notes. It's only an hour and a half long. Sit down and take notes. You got a whole week, but listen to it 3 or 4 times. This is your homework assignment. Be ready for the next slide, sir. Just take a snapshot of this. It's called $1 Million Year. How much could you achieve in the next 365 days if, here's a good one, if you're ready, if you really had to? Think about it. How much could each and every one of you achieve in the next 365 days if you really had to? So take a snapshot, go on audiobooks, and get the book by Richard Felton and Andrea Wass, and listen to it. Listen to it tonight. Listen to it every day. Just listen. And next week, we're going to have open forum, because we're going to discuss some of the chapters in this book. Hold on a second. Chapter 10 and chapter 30. There's a couple chapters. Hold on a second. Let me get my notes out, because there's a couple chapters I want you guys to really listen to several times over. Let me get my notes. Hold on, everybody. Let me get in here. I have listened to it today again and again. And let me get to my notes. Bear with me a second. Okay, chapter 12, a Russian couple. I want you to pay close attention to chapter 12. Look, I got my notes here. See, when I read something, I just don't read it. Some of y'all read and just read and don't know what you've done. You got to go back and study it. See, I got my notes right here. I got my notes. Now, also, I want you to read it. Go over chapter 10, number 10. Yeah, spending versus investing. Oh yeah. There's a couple of them you got to really dig into, and I'm gonna really get specific next week, because I'm gonna see what you learned, what you picked up, because you're gonna see yourself a lot in some of these incidents. But those are ones I want you to go back over and really dive into. Number 10, number 12. Oh my God. Yeah, but I want you to listen to the whole thing. It's only about an hour or so long. It's only about an hour and a half long, but it's what it's going to make of you. So it's going to show you, if you had to go do it, you could actually go do it. And the reason why a lot of you haven't done it, because you don't believe you can do it. or whatever reason you're going to use as an excuse. But today is the day to uplift those excuses and let's get running. So next Saturday is going to be part 2 of this. We're going to go into and we're going to discuss what you learned. Is everybody with me? We're going to what? We're going to discuss it. It's going to be open forums. We're going to discuss what you learned. Each chapter, there's 26 of them on there. We're going to go through them and we're going to talk about this one. What'd you get out of this? What'd you get out of this? What'd you learn? And you're going to see yourself. I guarantee you, you're going to see yourself in it, which is what it's going to learn and what it's going to make of you to open you up to be able to go turbocharge into the summer. Because like I said, my goal for every one of you is making 2,500 to 5,000 by summer. And the only way we're going to get there is be a part of this leadership that I do on Saturday and listen and learn and then go implement what we have.